be beaming, I be booming down that block. Everywhere you go, you know they know I'm hot. I be beaming.
What's up? What's going on, my good people? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you all are doing well. If this is your first time here, I want to welcome you. Pull up a seat. Hope you enjoyed the content. And before we get into this video, I want to ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe. Go ahead and tap that bell while you're at it so you're notified anytime I drop a brand new video, go live, or schedule a premiere. All right, y'all. So today I'm back with a seafood boil, and we putting it on the hot pot, in the hot pot, around the hot pot. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, let's just get started. You see it's ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm hungry. I got some mussels. I got some shrimp. I got a butter sauce off to the side. I got some red potatoes, mushrooms, and some small sweet peppers. I'm hungry. Mama, you want some food? You trying to eat? No? You ain't trying to talk either?
Oh, I can talk. I can talk. No, I'm not hungry.
Oh, you sure? Okay, I'm about to, y'all, I'm putting, so I got some broth in the middle here, and it's ready, okay? Ooh, that seems dangerous. Why was I gonna do that? Mama, you was gonna let me do that?
Well,
I sure was just gonna drop them in there on my hands, y'all. But that's me, though, y'all. Let me tell y'all, I just be doing stuff. And then you want to know why I get injured. You know what I'm saying? I don't
careful.
know. What? It's a lot?
I mean, when you put them in there, so they won't, because you got your face up right there.
I'm not gonna put the top on it though. Top going up there. All right, that's enough muscles. All right. Whoo! Yikes! This thing is aggressive. No, it's fine. I love how quickly this thing heats up. This thing heats up fast. That's one of my favorite things. All right, y'all. So I've done vegetables so far. This is my second time using the hot pot. I've never done potatoes on here, but I've done mushrooms, done the peppers before. I've made shrimp and everything. I love how quickly everything cooks. And I bought this with the intention to use it, you know, for the video, but also to use it with my family. Like, this is so much fun with family, y'all. Like, if you have kids, or it don't even have to be kids, but if you have kids, you have people coming in from out of town, it's a nice way to mix it up for dinner for sure.
And parents.
Yeah, I said everybody. Cause mom had a blast, okay? Y'all know she don't cook, but she was cooking on it. It's a great way to get my mama to cook. That's why I got the hot pot.
Really, Rhonda?
Yeah, so you can get back in the kitchen to familiarize yourself with the kitchen. I'm just playing. I'm kidding with you. So this hot pot, y'all, I got it from Amazon. It was on sale for $115. I think it was like $130. The potatoes look good. Y'all see how golden the potatoes look and how quickly it cooks? I wasn't sure. Like, and that's why I wanted to cut the potatoes up. I was gonna leave them like a little bit thicker, but I wanted them to cook kind of fast. So they look nice and golden. They should be done soon. But yeah, this was $115. It was on sale, and I'll include the link below if anybody wants to look at it, look at the reviews or anything like that. But I'm so glad. I should have been got a hot pot. We should have been had this month. We late.
It's never too late.
Never too late. What? You want some mushrooms?
No, yeah, you can put me a couple mushrooms on there. Maybe I'll start cooking again. Maybe. Because this is really, I think that's good too. It's fast and easy.
So you going to use the hot pot to cook?
Yeah.
Everything?
Whatever I can. I mean, yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Look, I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. When I got this, it was for the channel. It was also to have a little fun, you know, mixing things up a little bit. But a part of me was like, I wonder if mom would like enjoy this and like, you know, if she want to start cooking more. I miss your cooking, mom. This is me pleading with you.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. If you want to come back to the cooking side, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool too. Mom. And speaking of my cooking, y'all, I seasoned everything with my seasoning, y'all. Good as can be. I had the all-purpose in there. You know I got the jalapeno garlic pepper in there. And I also, of course, got the Cajun lemon pepper. Now, I'm sold out right now, y'all. But if you want to know when the next drop is, it should be in August, y'all. So, if you want to be the first to know, if you're interested in discounts or anything like that, y'all click the link below. Go to my Good as Can Be website and join the newsletter. Shout out to everybody that's already over there and been taking advantage of all the updates and discounts and stuff too.
I'm loving this, the all-purpose.
Yeah, people feeling it. They loving it. I'm getting a lot of good reviews for it too.
The all-purpose and the Cajun lemon pepper are my favorite.
Those your favorites?
Yep. I mean, I like the jalapeno too, but I like them better.
Ooh, I like how these peppers is looking. I love my stuff to be charred. Love, love, love. And y'all, look, today I'm back with a story time, so stick around for that. I know it's been a while, but I think that this will be worth the wait. I hope that y'all enjoy it. I'm excited about telling the damn story, because it's just been a minute, y'all. It's been a minute, but I'm trying to get back into my rhythm, okay? But I got y'all. All right, y'all. So I think the mussels are done. I took the shrimp off already. All right, so I'm gonna do a little more cooking, get things situated, and I'll be back in just a minute to eat. We'll be getting the story time, all that good stuff. So hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. I showed y'all some footage close up of me cooking, of my plate, and I'm ready, okay? Let me get a pepper. I'm gonna start with pepper. You want butter sauce? Y'all, these are extra jumbo shrimp in the store. Y'all gotta stop playing, okay? At this rate, this gotta be the same size as the medium-sized shrimp. I can't imagine what size they actually were. Got some mushrooms. My mushroom lover's up. Wait. I want y'all to see how charred it is, or how it looks on the other side. Hold on. See if I can do it. All right, here we go. Boom. Yes. I love how golden the potatoes. How golden the potatoes got. You want some?
Did you give him a first bite?
I gave him a couple bites already.
Oh, okay.
Auntie Niecy over here policing me. I can feel her out the corner of my eye. Definitely got some lemon. These mussels. Ooh, y'all. I'm so happy to be eating. Today I've had some green juice, this cucumber juice. I had a smoothie. I had a bomb ass salad for lunch, y'all. My salad was fire. It was so good. I might have to put that on the channel. It was that good. I had a really good salad, and then I'm having this. In this sauce, I didn't want it like super buttery, so it's some butter. I have some butter in there, olive oil, minced garlic, lemon, and then the 3 of my seasonings: all-purpose, jalapeno, garlic pepper, Cajun lemon pepper. That's it. Y'all, this is like a very busy week. I gotta pack. I'm going to Ohio for a month. Going to Ohio for a month. I'll definitely be putting some vlogs out. There will be other vlogs. By other, there will be other things featured in those vlogs on Patreon. That's where you will see my honey, the woman that I'm dating. That's who I'm going to see. she's not the only thing that's over on Patreon, y'all. There's other things that are on Patreon as well. Like, for example, this Friday, there's going to be a Zoom game night. I get to see y'all lovely faces, hear your voices. I'm doing a Zoom game night also on Patreon. If you want to sign up, you can. You can cancel at any time. It's $5. The link is in the description below. I have a reflection exercise on there, y'all. Like, it's all kind of stuff that I get to do on there and just kind of be open and share. So if you want to check it out, go check it out. But like I said, I will definitely have some stuff from Ohio here on the channel. But if you're trying to see everything, you got to go to Patreon. What I like about the hot pot too is that it can be good for like date night, and it can also be good for people that might be intimidated in the kitchen or can't, don't cook very well, or like don't feel comfortable in the kitchen. I think it's great for that too. You don't have to be like an exceptional cook to work a hot pot, and you can still get in on the fun with cooking and, feeling like you was a part of, putting the meal together. So that's the cool thing about it. I should have got one of these a long time ago. Once I get done with this, y'all, we're gonna get into the story time. Ooh, look at all that garlic. Ooh, y'all see all of that? Yes. Ooh, that was just good and extra tangy. So good. All right, y'all, I am about to get into the story time, but before I do, really quick. So I just mentioned Patreon just a moment ago. People were asking me on the live stream if things are going to change. No. So there's still going to be story times here, mukbangs, and vlogs. Only difference is, the story times will be a little racier, maybe even erotic on the Patreon side of things. And there's just no pressure to, sign up for Patreon. If you want additional content, if you want a different feel, a more intimate community on that side of things, then yes, like giveaways and stuff like that, please, by all means. But if not, just stay here on YouTube. There's no pressure at all. Now, if you're watching the story time for the first time, welcome. This is a fiction story that I just came up with, and that means I use my imagination. So I want y'all to use your imagination too. Don't get too wrapped up in the details. Meaning, if something doesn't add up or that wouldn't happen in real life, like I said, just use your imagination. And the final thing, please watch the ads. That is really important for me and any other content creator that you watch here on YouTube. All right, let's get into the story time. So the main characters in the story time are Camille and Tamia. They are two women in their late 30s who are best friends, and they've been best friends since high school. So they've been around each other for years, through the highs, the lows, the good and bad times, and they just ride through everything together. They're just like everything, you know what I mean? And like outside of being able to depend on each other, they don't have a whole lot of people they could turn to, you know what I'm saying? So whatever life throws at them, they know that they could depend on each other, call each other, and they show up straight up. They just show up every single time. So Tamia is married. She doesn't have any children, and she's married to Keenan. And Keenan is also, someone she met in high school. So they kind of met in high school, then fell off, lost contact, went to college, moved away, came back, and they reconnected like in their late 20s. And they've been married for about 5 or 6 years now. And they both never wanted kids. And as far as Camille has just went through a divorce, and she's having a really hard time. And, she's the one that filed for divorce, but she didn't think it would be this hard. Like, she thought that being able to separate and move on with her life was going to be just easy. And it hasn't. Like, she had to take time off work. She got the house in the divorce, and she immediately put the house up for sale. Because she just can't fathom, being able to, like, even if she changed the furniture, painted the walls, switch things around, this house still belongs to her and her husband. Like, all the memories that they have. So people are trying to convince her to keep the house because it's in a prime location and this and that. She's like, no, like, I don't want any tenants here. I don't want to do Airbnb. Like, I'm good. Like, I just want to move on. He's out of my life. I want the house out of my life too. So like I said, it's in a prime location. The house goes up on the market and it sells very quickly. And, you know, she's made quite a bit of equity off of the house or whatever. And, you know, she takes that money and pays a bunch of stuff off and is just trying to decide what to do next, you know? So she's off work, but she's not trying to like leave her job or anything, but she's on a leave of absence. And she just kind of in limbo. Like, what am I going to do next? Buy another house? Am I going to stay in this city? Cause she can work remote from her job. Am I going to get an apartment? What am I going to do? And so through all of this, you know, as she's thinking through all of this, she's talking to Tamia. Tamia knows how she feels about everything. And, you know, Tamia just comes with an idea, and it's like, why don't you come stay with me and Keenan? Come stay with us for a little bit while you're in transition. You know, give yourself some time to figure it out. Think about it. I don't want you to feel pressured. I don't want you to feel like you got to just live anywhere, you know, so come live here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like your second home anyway, right? And, you know, honestly, Camille takes her up on the offer. Like, as soon as she offers, she's like, yeah, like, I would love that. So she could be in a place where she feels comfortable and just, you know, have a chance of, you know, she knows she's safe at their home and she can just take the time that she needs, you know, to kind of really work through everything and how her life has changed so much, right? So, you know, Tamia made this decision and made this offer without talking to Keenan. And when she finally talks to Keenan, Keenan is pissed. He's like, yo, like, look, I love Camille like she's my sister and everything and all of that. I love her. I hate that she's going through what she's going through. But, you know, seeing her every day, like, you didn't feel the need to run that by me. Like, how could you make that kind of decision? And, you know, to me, it's like, look, I'm sorry. I was in the moment. My best friend had a problem. I offered a solution. And look, I know it's not going to be for a long time. You know, it's not like she don't have any money to go anywhere. It'll probably just be for a few weeks. That's it. Like, just a few weeks. You know, let her just kind of figure things out a little bit. You know, look, please, I'm sorry. I owe you one. I'm sorry. I will do better next time. I definitely should have said something to you first. I'm really sorry. So Keenan is like, all right, he accepts her apology. And he's like, all right, yeah, I'm fine with her being here. And let me tell you something. After she's there for a couple of weeks, Keenan is like, he's changed his entire mind, the way that he felt about everything. Because guess what? Now that Camilla's in the house, it's a whole bunch of shit he doesn't have to do. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have to get up and go, you know, with Tamia to certain places. He doesn't have to hear her talk about certain things. He doesn't have to even really cook as much anymore. Camille finds, you know, peace, and it's like therapeutic to cook. So she's doing a lot of cooking. So he like, hell yeah, I'm glad she's here. So it's a win-win for everybody after a couple of weeks, right? So Keenan is loving it. And, you know, things are going very, very well. And like I said, you know, Camilla's off work, so she's always at the house, but it's not like she's in the way. You know, she's in her own space. She, you know, is in her room most of the time, you know, but comes out in the common area, you know, once everybody is, you know, outside or whatever, she comes out and hangs out or whatever, but she doesn't overstep, doesn't do too much. And like I said, she kind of sits with her grief on her own. Like, yes, she talks to Tamia a lot, but she also sits alone a lot too, you know, just thinking, reading, and just, you know, dealing with the cards that, you know, she's kind of been dealt. So time goes on. So I'm gonna say like another couple weeks go by, and now things have flip-flop. Keenan is now in a place where he now starting to feel some kind of way. He's feeling some kind of way because he sees that Tamia is like leaving him out of things. Like, she's not even asking him to do certain things or be a part of certain stuff, or, you know, she's not even coming to him first about certain things. And he feels some kind of way. He's like, he feels like he's on the sideline of his life, and he's like, he doesn't say anything, but he just feels some kind of way. But there's a shift in his attitude and his like behavior. You know what I'm saying? And Tamia knows her husband. She's like, is everything all right? And he's like, no, everything is good. So he never comes out and says anything, but it's in his behavior, the way he looks at Camille. Like, you know, he be side-eyeing her and shit like that, because it's like he sees the way that her and Tamia are just kind of moving. Like, and for him, it's like the things that they're doing together, it's like, it's cool that y'all are doing it. You know what I mean? But that used to be me. Like, if y'all gonna run somewhere real quick, why y'all didn't ask me if I want to go? And, you know, Tamia hasn't said anything because he's like, he been kicking his feet up, watching the TV, watching the game and shit like that, acting like he didn't want to be a part of certain shit, right? So I think that Tamia would be fine with inviting him and welcoming him to certain things that they're doing if it didn't seem like that he was glad that she was around. You feel what I'm saying? So she doesn't know that she's doing anything wrong because Keenan hasn't said anything, just the shift in his attitude, right? So let me say this as well, is that Tamia, she's an entrepreneur. She owns a beauty supply. And her beauty supply is not located in the best part of town. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, since she's opened the beauty supply, Keenan comes to pick her up every night. So the supply closes about 8 o'clock and she's done about 9:30. So he goes every single night faithfully to pick her up, to make sure she's safe, make sure she's good, just make sure she's straight, because like I said, it's not the best part of town, but her business does very, very well in the location where it is. And, he want to make sure she's good. So he picks her up every single night. That's their routine. That's to be expected. That's a given, whatever. He's still doing that. He still kind of got a little attitude, but he's still doing what needs to be done. So one day at work, he pulls his back or strains his back or whatever. And he is fucked up. Like, he's messed up, had to go to the doctor. He has to go to physical therapy, had to be taken off work as well. And because of this, he can no longer, get in the car and go, be there for Tamia as she's closing the beauty supply at night. So, Camille has no problem stepping in. She's like, no big deal. I ain't got nowhere to be. I'm off work right now. Sure. So the first night she goes, she knows the routine. She knows what to do. She knows where to park, all of that, and she's there on time. And, she watches Tamia come out. Tamia gets in the car. They go to the house. Boom, done. And she's just like, I don't know how long, your back stuff is going to be going on, but I have no problem, helping out and doing whatever, until you're better, and Keenan is like, thank you. Like, I appreciate that. And he starts to feel better about like her being around and, kind of getting out of his feelings a little bit about like kind of being jealous about how close they are. You know what I'm saying? And, he's just happy that she's there, cause he can't be there for his wife. So he's happy that Camille is there. Right. So this is going on. It's like a week goes by, 2 weeks go by, Camille is, helping out, pulling up at the right time, getting there about 8:45, checking certain things. So the beauty supply is in a strip mall, and there are other businesses around, but those businesses close a lot earlier than the beauty supply does. So that's why Keenan was very adamant about being there when she leaves, because, with Tamia, if she were to leave by herself, anything could happen. Anybody could run up on her and nobody will be around, because everything else around her is closed. So that's why he, made it a point to be there, every night for her. So, business as usual. So Tamia is closed, the business is closed. She's wrapping things up. She's wiping the counters and stuff down. She's restocking the shelves to be ready for the next day. And, it's about 9:15, something like that. So she's about to get ready to, she's approaching the front door. She's halfway there. And as she's doing that, she can see the back of the SUV with tinted windows, that she drives. So she's, she sees that Camilla's there. She's ready to, she has her keys in hand. She's ready to lock the door and make her way to the SUV, right? Now, as she's still looking, she has her eyes, glued to the SUV. She sees somebody dressed in all black. They have on a ski mask, and they walk up to the driver's side of the SUV. They pull out a gun and just fire. Bang, bang. So glass shatters everywhere. And like I said, the windows are tinted, so she can't see what happened. But I mean, the assumption is that obviously that Camille was in the driver's side, and she just screams. She screams, she runs to the front, she runs to the door and she's screaming and she's trying to scare the person away. The person is now approaching her, the beauty supply. So she closes the door, locks the door, and she runs to the back, like storage area or whatever. Runs to the storage area. She has her phone in her pocket. She closes the storage door behind her, locks it, and her heart is racing, pulls the phone out, calls the police, and she's just pacing back and forth. There's not a window or anything for her to see what's going on, like nothing. So she's just freaking out. And so she's in this storage room, just pacing back and forth. She hears sirens eventually, so she knows that the police is getting close. And as she hears the siren, she comes out of the storage area and she walks towards the front door, and she doesn't see the SUV. The SUV is gone, right? So by the time law enforcement arrives, they see shattered glass on, all over the parking lot, and she's just confused. She recollects and tells him what she saw. Everything happened so fast. She lets them know that her best friend was coming to pick her up, that she was the one driving the vehicle. And I mean, she can't help but think the worst. This person shot point blank range. What else can she think, right? And she's freaking out. She's hysterical, and they're trying to calm her down, and she's calling Keenan, and, he's trying to do his best to get there, and it's just a mess. It's a mess. Totally unexpected. And, Keenan, again, she's not in the best area. So is this really a surprise? I don't know. But, this is what Keenan has always feared, that something like this would happen. You know what I'm saying? But in his mind, he felt like, everything was going to be cool. Like, Tamia is a staple, in this neighborhood. People know her. They respect her. But, I mean, what does that even matter? Was it somebody that was jealous? Was it somebody that had it out for her? Like, is this a random act? Like, there's so many fucking questions, right? So, the police is there, the detectives are there on the scene, just asking questions. Again, they're, trying to collect evidence. They have the caution tape everywhere. And, it's just a lot going on, right? So they get in touch with some of the other business owners, and they're able to, pull footage. She had footage as well, but they want to get as much footage as they can. So the other business owners in the strip mall are willing, they're cooperative. Everybody gives whatever security footage that they have. So what happened was, the person who was in the ski mask, they were walking towards the beauty supply when they heard Tamia scream. But then when she went back in, locked the door, they went back to the SUV, and for what it looks like, they, pushed Camille to the side, hopped in the driver's seat, and took off, right? So they could see what direction this person took off and all of that. But the investigation goes on, y'all, and it's pretty much a dead end. Like, there's really nothing beyond like the direction where they went. There's nothing. They're checking Camille's credit cards, her debit cards, her phone records. Nothing is happening. And let me tell you about that initial call that Tamia had to make to Camille's family. It wasn't easy. Number one, because of what she had to tell them. What took place and what happened to Camille, and she doesn't really have a whole lot to go off of because the SUV is missing and all that stuff, right? And secondly, Camille's family never liked Tamia. As close as they've been all of these years, they've been able to manage this wonderful friendship. Camille's family really just felt like that Tamia wasn't good enough for her because of how she was raised, because of where she grew up. They just felt like that she was a certain type of person, right? And would get her caught up in shit pretty much. And so when she made that phone call, that's exactly how the family came off, like typical. Like, you would get her caught up in some shit like this. You know what I mean? Like, look at where your business is located. Like, who on earth would have a business located in that neighborhood? And then you're gonna get our family like mixed up in some shit like that. So it was a very tough phone call, and so they, got off the phone, whatever. And just back to the investigation. So law enforcement is dedicating, just so many resources, so much time, so much effort. They're checking leads, they're checking in different cities, like the next city over. They're checking in the next state over. That's not too far. It's a couple hours away, from where they are. And just nothing is checking out. Like, they have a dive team. They're checking the water, everything. And it's really hard to be hopeful and positive about Camille, coming back home because of the injury she sustained. And they checked all the hospitals, because when you get hit point blank range like that, you need medical attention. And she's in none of the hospitals in the entire state. And again, they checked the next state over. So, this investigation can only last for so long because of what took place. And now, mind you, law enforcement saw what happened and how close this person was to the vehicle, based on the security surveillance they had, from all the business owners in the strip mall. So, all they can conclude at this point is that she's gone. Like, she passed away, and they rule her, as being deceased. And that's a hard pill to swallow. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though, like, Tamia saw everything happen, she was just still holding on to, like, damn, like, how could this happen? And, before they got to this decision, of course, they asked Keenan, he was a person of interest, because, he was the one who was, initially, picking Tamia up at work, and things changed. And he was like, I would never do anything like that. So he had to clear his name. Of course, the ex-husband was a person of interest. And he was like, I would never do anything like that. They both cleared their name, and they didn't really just have anything to go off of. Like, who would do something like this, right? And like I said, so they rule her as being deceased. And now it's time to move on to the funeral arrangements. So, Tamia has a conversation with Camille's ex-husband. And he's like, look, I had a policy on her when we got divorced. I didn't mind, still keeping it. She told me to get rid of it. She said she would get coverage, and I don't know what her coverage is. So they're having a conversation about that. Meanwhile, Camille's family is like, look, we don't plan on spending any money to have any type of service. There is no body. And quite frankly, we're just going to have like a get together, like a repast or gathering at the house. Like, that's all we're going to do to celebrate her life. And to me, it's like, no, this is not what she would have wanted. Like, I know exactly what she wanted. Like, she wanted, I know the color casket she wanted. Even if it's not a body in there, I still want to be able to give her what she wants. So her family is like, look, if that's what you want to do and you're going to pay for it, knock yourself out. And so to me, it's like, damn, like, y'all just gonna put this all on me. They're like, yeah, we're not trying to do all that, especially without having a body. Like, no, we're not doing that. It's a waste of money, quite frankly. You know what I'm saying? So she thinks that's fucked up. She's like, no, I want to honor what it is that my best friend, what she wanted her final arrangements to be. And so she asked the ex-husband if he was willing to help pay. He says no. He was like, nah, like, my hands are tied. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that this happened to Camille, but like, I'm not going to contribute any money towards her funeral service. And, Tamia goes to her savings and pays for the service. She pays for a service. She goes to the church, that Camille wanted. She picks out the color casket that she wanted. She gets flowers. She does all of these things and gives her best friend a homegoing that she feels like she deserved. And, this really pissed Keenan off. Like, Keenan was hot. Like, Keenan was like, I don't understand why you're going out of your way to do all of this. Like, you're going to dig in our savings account. She was like, hold up, not mine. I went into my savings account, not the one that we have together. He's just like, I don't understand. Like, I feel like her ex-husband should have paid. She's like, look, I asked the ex-husband to help and he didn't want to help. The family didn't want to help. And still, that's not, just because they don't want to help doesn't mean that I can't give my best friend what she deserves, And so Keenan is just shaking his head like, okay, you're going to pay all this money. And it's not a traditional funeral. Like you said, the body isn't even here. We could have just did something small. We could have just went to the gathering her family was going to have. And to me, it was like, I'm not even welcome at their fucking house. So I wouldn't have even felt comfortable. And that's just not the kind of homegoing that she wanted, right? We all get one life and you all get one homegoing. This is it. This is our final goodbye. And I'm going to do it the way that my best friend would have wanted, whether you like it or not. So the service happens. It's beautiful. Everybody comes out. A lot of people have a lot of great things to say about Camille, who she was as a person, what she stood for. It was a beautiful service, wonderful pictures. The singers were amazing. The pastor that did the eulogy was great. Everything that he said about Camille, just sending her off, in a beautiful way, and it's just a really sad day. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. It's heavy. It's, just experiencing something so final, like that's not how it was supposed to be because, Camille was supposed to get a chance to like start this new chapter of her life. Like, this is not how it was supposed to end. And of course, to me, it feels guilty because it happened, by her establishment, by her business. And it's just a lot to deal with, you know what I'm saying? So the funeral, a week or two has gone by, since the funeral, and things are very hectic and heavy. And at her house with her and Keenan, there's a lot of tension. They're not talking as much. They're not really communicating. She's sleeping in the guest room. Like, it's just strange. You know what I'm saying? Between them, it's a lot of distance. And, she goes to him and is like, I just need a break. I need a break. I need some time away. I don't know. I know this is a lot, but I just can't really do the marriage thing right now. I know I'm not being the best wife. I don't know. Just even the way you responded, to me paying for the funeral, just how you were acting before Camille even died, just so many things. I feel like there's so much you haven't said. And, he goes on to admit that, he was feeling jealous, and just not being included into certain things. And, but he also took ownership on the fact that he kind of created that environment of like, being happy that Camille was around and then feeling some way that she was around. Like, he was kind of going back and forth. And so he admits that or whatever. And she's like, that would have been nice to know. I would have wanted you to tell me that when you were feeling that at the time, but anyway, I just need time. I need time. Like, I just feel stressed. I need time. I need like 2 or 3 weeks. And he's like, okay, like, go ahead, take some time. Where are you going? And she's like, I don't know. I've looked at a couple things online. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stay in the city. I'm not sure if I'm going to next state over. I don't know, but I will call you when I get there. And, when I get back, I would like us to figure out something. I want us to go to therapy. I want us to do something. And he's like, all right, that's a plan. You take some time to yourself. I can definitely use some time to myself. And I don't know, when you get back, I hope that we can figure things out. So Tamia hops in the car and she just starts driving. She's driving, drives through the night, driving nonstop. She does not plan on stopping until she gets to her destination. And when she finally does, she's like 3 states over. It is really small town. And she pulls up to this, like, it's this street. It's like a cul-de-sac. And she pulls up in front of this beautiful 2-story house. And she's just sitting there. And she turns the car off and she's just sitting there thinking, just like shaking her head, rubbing her temples and just tired. And, she's ready to get out. She stretches, she reaches in the trunk, grabs a bag, and she walks to the front door of this house and she knocks. And, she knocks again and the door creeps open and it is Camille. And Camille looks a lot different now. But they embrace, she closed the door behind her. They hug, they kiss. And when I say kiss, I mean they kiss. And they just look at each other and they are so happy to see each other and just taking that moment in of finally seeing this person and being with this person that you've been wanting to see and have been away from for so long, for weeks and months and it's just a lot, you know what I'm saying? And you know, they're just so happy to see each other. You know, Camille asks, like, you know, did you tell Keenan where you were? Did you call him? She's like, I haven't called him yet, but let me call him real quick. Like, let me actually text him real quick. So she sends a text message to Keenan's phone, and as soon as Keenan gets the message, he calls. And so Keenan is like, you know, what's going on? You know, where are you? And, you know, to me, it's like, I'm exactly where I need to be. And you're exactly where you need to be. Yeah, you're back home where you need to be. And I just want you to just be the father that you need to be. Just be the father that you need to be. That's all I want for you. And that's what your son deserves too. And then she's like, you know, this is it. You'll never see me again. I'm filing for divorce. And I can't do this, and I won't do it. So, you know, you'll be hearing from my lawyer, and that's it. And of course, he's talking and saying different things and pleading and asking questions, and she hangs up in his face. And she just goes back to Camille, and they embrace, and she's crying, they're crying, and just can't believe that they got away with this shit. They can't believe that they came up with a plan and got away with this shit. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in a couple of gaps. There's like probably a couple, you're probably like, what the fuck is going on? All right, so prior to Camille, you know, getting a divorce and like moving in with Tamia and Keenan, Tamia was approached by a woman who told her like, hey, I have a son with your husband. Okay, so this woman who was the mother of Keenan's child, he has like a 2 or 3 year old son. You know, she never knew that Keenan was married. She got word that he was married, and she, you know, dug around, did her own investigation, found out it was true, you know, found out that he had been married for years before they met. He never said anything about his wife. So she's like, okay, if I don't know this man is married, his wife probably doesn't know he has a son, more than likely. I feel like that there's a high probability of that. So she decided to reach out to Tamia herself and tell her about, you know, the son. And so they agreed, like, you know, it was no hard feelings. You know, the woman was like, as soon as I found out about you, I stopped messing around with him. I'm really sorry. And, you know, Tamia wasn't really hurt because she never wanted kids. But also, how do you go and have a kid with another woman? And why are you cheating? And you doing it raw? And just so many questions, right? But she's really glad that she found out. She's glad that she knew what her husband was up to, whatever. And, you know, she just said, you know, is he a good father? And she was like, he is, you know. He takes care of his son, like financially, like he gives me money. He does all these things. He spends time with him. You know, of course, I spend the majority of the time with him, but he's not a bad father, you know. And honestly, Tamia is happy to hear that if he gonna do all this bullshit and have a kid, thank God he's a good dad. You know what I'm saying? Fireworks, y'all. So, you know, then at that point, you know, they both agree, like, we're not going to say anything. We're not going to say anything to him. You know, I'll bring it up when I'm good and ready. And she was like, okay, you know, do whatever is best for you, right? So she just kind of puts that card in her back pocket, right? And she holds on to it for months, y'all. Months and months and months. She don't say shit. It is life as usual. Like life as usual at her household. She hasn't said anything to Keenan. She didn't switch up on him. Nothing, right? Tamia found out about, you know, Keenan having a son. She told Camille immediately. Camille was the only person that knew. And Camille was ready to get bucked. Like, you need to run up on Keenan. Like, what's up? And she's like, nah, I got to hold on to this. Just the right time, you know? And let me say this, that they've known each other since high school, and they've probably been in love with each other since college, you know, and they always had a thing for each other, but knew it could never be like an out and open relationship because of their family, because of society and all that other shit, right? So they never did anything with each other, but they've always been in love. Like, that's like, they've been like each other's one true love, you know what I'm saying? But just never really acted on it, but always told each other how they felt, expressed their feelings, stuff like that. So they've been able to, they've done a great job being best friends, but they've always wanted more, but just never really like went for it, right? So, you know, fast forward, Camille moves in because she goes through the divorce, whatever. And then, you know, like I told her, she had money because she sold the house that, you know, her and her husband had together. So money wasn't really a problem, but she wanted a big lump sum of money to like up and move and relocate and start all over again. So one day she jokingly was like, yo, I got this big ass life insurance policy and I wish I could do something with it. And so, you know, when the situation happened, when Keenan messed up his back, it kind of presented an opportunity for them to plan something. So they found somebody, paid him $50,000, you know, to dress in all black, pull up in a ski mask, fired a gun twice into the car. And so this SUV that Camille was in when she came to the beauty supply, it had tinted windows. So she was in the back seat the entire, well, she climbed in the back seat. So when he shot those, 2 shots, she wasn't even she wasn't in the front seat. So she never got hit or anything like that. And, the guy jumped in the car and they had this whole plan devised. They burned it up and, they figured they could pull this off, just sit around and ride it out. There's no way that the police is just gonna, keep on looking for me. If I supposedly got shot that close in the face or in the head, I'll eventually be ruled, deceased or dead, and I'm gonna get the money. I'll get the policy and we can go start a new life together. The life that we've always wanted, So I guess it's fair to ask the question, if you could have a brand new life, would you take it? And they decided to take it. These women are about to be in their 40s and they're ready to live their truth with each other, and just the little things that Keenan would do, even prior to Camille being in the house, just little shit that he would do would just really piss Tamia off. You know what I'm saying? Like, small things add up in relationships. So just little things that he would do, little things that he would say. He would be inconsistent. He would crack jokes about things that were very sensitive to her. Just things that just would get on her nerves. And she was just like, would tell Camille, like, I cannot do this. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the opportunity presented itself. Camille made the joke about, I want to start a brand new life. And she like, shit, let's do it. Let's do it. When the right time presents itself, we'll come up with a plan and we'll make it happen. And so, she felt like it was also the right time, once she was able to drive away and reconnect with Camille, it was the right time to let her husband know, like, I know your secret. I know your dirty little secret that you've been cheating and you have a son, so she wanted to go ahead and let him know that. And that's why she wasn't coming back. That was it. So hopefully y'all were able to keep up with everything. Hopefully you were also entertained. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Meet me in the comments. Make the best of the day, y'all. Be good to yourself. Peace.
I be